Hi everyone, we are Group Episodes. Today we're representing our project of menu translation. The issue of our project addresses is the cultural and linguistic gap created by direct translation of Chinese menu items into English. As you may have noticed, there is an interesting phenomenon in culinary translation. While Korean, Japanese, or Italian restaurants often transliterate their dishes, like bibimbap, sushi, or carbonara, Chinese restaurants typically translate menu items directly, sometimes resulting in culturally disconnected or unappetizing descriptions. For example, from the current menu, we see dishes literally translated as crispy pork slice, sweet and sour sauce, or blood and starch, Chinese sauerkraut, pork belly. These translations, while technically accurate, fail to convey the cultural significance, flavor profile, or apply of these traditional Northeastern Chinese dishes. This matters because food is not just sustenance, it's cultural identity. Proper menu translation can bridge cultural divides and enhance the dining experience for customers unfamiliar with Chinese cuisine. Now, let's move to establishing credibility. Our project aligns with Credible Framework as a supporting linguistic approach. This framework emphasizes creating research that brings harmony and prosperity to communities, particularly focusing on local knowledge and practices. C means contextually relevant. Our translation approach is directly relevant to the local context of both Northeastern Chinese restaurants and the Sydney dining community. We thought locally about how Chinese cuisine is presented and understood in the Australia context. R means response to practical needs. This project addresses the real-world challenge of menu translation rather than being driven purely by theory. It solved the practical issue of cultural disconnection in food translation. E means engaging stakeholder. We actively engaged with restaurant owners, staffs, Chinese community members, and potential diners throughout the process, not just collecting data, but involving them in the translation decisions. D means draws on local knowledge and practices. We paid carefully attention to the beliefs, practice, and expression of both Northeastern Chinese culinary traditions and local Australian food culture, respecting the knowledge system of both communities. I means informed by diverse approaches. Our translation methodology incorporates diverse linguistic and cultural perspectives, not just Western translation theories, but also Chinese linguistic and culinary traditions. B means benefits local communities. This project benefits both the Chinese restaurant business and the broader Sydney community by facilitating better cultural understanding and appreciation through food. L means leads the field. This approach contributes to the larger global series of culinary translation by demonstrating that there is no single correct way of translating menus. Context matters tremendously. E means ethical. We maintained responsible and respectful practices throughout, ensuring cultural representation is authentic and no misrepresented.
Our redesigned menu for Master Chen Northeast Chinese cuisine focuses on cultural authenticity and ease of use, especially for customers unfamiliar with Chinese food. The first page combines cultural storytelling and practical guidance. On the left, we feature the specialty section, 东北特色铁锅炖, a dish rooted in the harsh winters of Northeast China. We used visuals, symbols like chili and the full character, and a short description to tell the cultural story. On the right, we present hot-selling dishes such as 老式锅包肉 with Chinese, Pinyin, English ingredients, price, and high-quality photos. Even without language knowledge, customers can simply point to the dish or refer to the number beside it. This layout helps build confidence and reduce ordering anxiety. Our menu is carefully organized into clear categories such as marinated dishes, stir-fry, iron plates, and more. This helps customers quickly locate what they want, especially those unfamiliar with Chinese food. Instead of reading through the whole menu, they can go straight to what they need. In addition to category grouping, our menu is also alphabetically ordered by Pinyin initials, making it easier for customers to browse and locate specific dishes. Each section includes a representative image that shows the style of dishes in that category. These visuals help customers understand what kind of food to expect and reduce ordering stress. This is especially important for first-time diners or non-Chinese speakers. All dishes are clearly numbered. Even if customers don't know how to pronounce a dish, they can simply say the number when ordering. This small design choice greatly improves ordering efficiency and customer confidence. Each dish includes 4 key elements: Chinese name, Pinyin, English, ingredient description, and price. This bilingual clarity makes the menu more accessible and transparent for intern. Our work was informed by several key theoretical frameworks. First, the study by Amenador and Wang, 2022, explored how cultural-specific items in Chinese menus are often neutralized or stripped of explanation in translation. They argued this may reflect cultural insecurity. Based on this, we chose to retain Pinyin and add English ingredient descriptions. This helped us preserve cultural identity while supporting reader understanding. Second, the official guide published by the Beijing Foreign Affairs Office and the Municipal Bureau of Commerce 2020 gave us a clear bilingual structure: Chinese Pinyin, English, price. This model helped us design a consistent and user-friendly layout that improves readability for international diners. Third, Li 2018 applied a multimodal perspective, emphasizing that using Pinyin and English ingredient explanations can enhance comprehension and reduce misunderstandings. This validated our visual and linguistic strategies, especially for customers unfamiliar with Chinese cuisine. Finally, Cronin 2017 proposed the idea of eco-translation, where food carries historical and cultural meaning, not just a flavor. We followed this by keeping authentic dish names like 地三鲜 in Pinyin, avoiding oversimplified translations. For us, translation is not just about what food means, but where it comes from and what it represents.
So right now, I would love to give you the positive discourse analysis of our project. PDA guided our analysis by examining successful menu translations. To understand these 3 questions, we analyzed several successful restaurant menu translations, and the first one would be Macchiato with Fire Pizza and Coffee Roasters in Sydney, and the second one is Din Tai Fung. And right now, let's look at the first analysis of Macchiato. This restaurant exemplifies successful Italian-Australian fusion in its menu design. Looking at their actual menu, we can see how they effectively organize dishes into clear categories using both Italian and English terminology. A perfect example is their section header, which you can see on the left of the PowerPoint. There are 2 words, mains, secondi. Mains is the English term for main courses that Australian diners can easily understand, and secondi is from secondi piatti, and you can also see the explanation on the right of the PowerPoint. This word is the authentic Italian term meaning the second course or main course. This bilingual approach preserves Italian culinary authenticity while ensuring accessibility. And similarly, dishes like risotto funghiato tofu maintain Italian names while providing English ingredient descriptions. For Din Tai Fung, Their approach maintains Chinese dish names with Pinyin but provides clear, appetizing descriptions that emphasize technique and flavor rather than literal ingredient lists. For example, instead of simply translating 小笼包 as soup dumpling, they describe it as carefully weighed and folded by hand to achieve our signature golden ratio of 18 folds and stuffed with top-quality Kurobuta pork marinated in a blend of carefully selected seasoning. They successfully use visual elements to complement text, often featuring photos of their signature dishes and even showing the dumpling making process through kitchen windows. These successful examples demonstrated effective strategies that respond to practical needs. The first one is maintaining original dish names with Pinyin. Second one is using evocative sensory language rather than literal translation. The third one is highlighting cooking techniques and regional significance. Last but not the least, focusing on flavor profiles rather than just ingredients. So we followed these practical needs and developed our new version of the menu.
Okay, so next part is our material development. Our material development process evolved significantly as we researched and tested different approaches to menu translations. So in this picture, we can see that initially we followed the conventional approach used by most Chinese restaurants, directly translating Chinese dish names into English. For example, we translated 老式锅包肉 simply as traditional sweet and sour pork, but we found that directly translating Chinese dish names into English can lead to many problems. Because of cultural difference, some dishes are really untranslatable. Direct translations often fail to capture the cultural essence of Chinese dish names. Even worse, mistranslations can create confusion or misunderstanding among foreign customers. However, we discovered a significant pattern. Unlike Chinese restaurants, many foreign restaurants like Korean or Italian restaurants or etc., they preserve their original language on menus. Why? With this question, we conducted some paper research. One of the reasons is that Chinese is a high-context language, whereas most Western languages are low-context language. This distinction between high-context and low-context cultures explains the reason high-context language really relies on cultural background, which needs to require more explanatory translations, while Western dish names can more easily retain their original form, and according to law, while some translations may simplify or flatten the cultural richness of Chinese cuisine, they also function as a form of controlled cultural export, allowing Chinese food to enter the mainstream market in a way that is understandable and non-threatening. Translating menus is one practice to reduce perceived otherness and promote mainstream acceptance. And in Western countries, Chinese diasporic communities historically faced assimilation pressure, which limited their cultural confidence, according to Zhou and Li in 2007. To appear more acceptable or modern, restaurant owners often translated menus into English to minimize cultural distance and avoid misinterpretation. This reflects a strategy of self-effacement rather than confident cultural assertion. So this observation prompts us to reconsider our approach. So here comes our new approach. By preserving the original Chinese with Pinyin annotation, we not only avoid translation errors, but also create an opportunity for foreign customers to learn Chinese phrases. This knowledge becomes practical. When these customers visit other Northeastern Chinese restaurants, they can recognize familiar dishes and potentially even order in Chinese. Our second major improvement was providing comprehensive ingredients listing for each dish. We recognized that foreign customers unfamiliar with Chinese cuisine needed more than just the dish names to make informed choices. For each dish, we now list the primary ingredients and preparation methods in English. For example, rather than just translating 酱脊骨 as braised backbone, we describe it as slow-braised pork backbone with soy sauce, aromatic spice. The detailed description helps customers to understand what they are ordering, accommodates dietary preference, and creates more appealing, appetizing descriptions. Plus, to address the practical challenge of ordering for non-Chinese speakers, we assigned a unique number to each dish on the menu. This simple addition makes a significant difference in the dining experience. When customers can't pronounce Chinese names or pinyin, they can simply refer to dish numbers, like saying, "I'd like number 15." It's much easier than attempting unfamiliar pronunciation. This system also helps streamline the ordering process for servers and reduces potential miscommunication. So through these three key developments, our menu has evolved from a simple translation tool to a comprehensive cultural bridge that enhances the dining experience while preserving linguistic authenticity.
The menu translation was tested through three ways. The first one, focus group feedback. We presented both original and new translations to a diverse group of diners, including those familiar and unfamiliar with Chinese cuisines. The second one, restaurant staff consultation. We gathered feedback from restaurant staff regarding accuracy and whether the translation effectively communicated the essence of each dish. The third one, linguistic validation. We had professional translators review the work for both accuracy and cultural appropriateness. Feedback was overwhelmingly positive, with participants noting that our new version of the menu enhanced understanding of ingredients and preparation methods. It also increased interest in trying authentic Northeastern specialities. And diners from other countries got greater confidence in ordering unfamiliar dishes and better cultural appreciation of the cuisine's regional significance. With these feedbacks, the restaurant plans to implement the new menu next month, with a digital version launching on their website and delivery platforms.
What worked well in this project was the collaborative approach, bringing together perspectives from both Chinese and Australian cultural backgrounds. The focus on cultural context rather than literal translation proved effective in making dishes more appealing while maintaining authenticity. However, there are still areas we can improve. First, we plan to develop a more comprehensive glossary of Northeastern Chinese culinary terms. Second, we want to add more visual materials, such as images for other dishes, to better support the text descriptions. Third, we hope to expand the project by providing staff training so they can effectively communicate the cultural background of each dish. Looking ahead, we also plan to include QR codes that link to more detailed information about regional ingredients and cooking techniques to further engage our audience. The following are our reference list. Thank you.